Hi, this is Jeff with Test Freaks, and today we're going to take a look at making seamless textures using Photoshop CS4. Now there are a lot of plugins and things that will help do this for you, but you don't really need those. We're going to look at two different ways to do it manually, and they are ways that work on nearly any substance picture that you may be working with, whether it's of wood, metal, grass, or in our case, pebbles. So the first thing to do is go to Filters, and then Other, and then Offset. And this will allow you to take the edges of your image and put them in the middle so that you can see them. And as you can see, here are our seams. If you just move the sliders and make sure it says wrap around, you'll be able to see all the seams. So do that, and then zoom into whatever you're comfortable with. Now what we're going to use here is the clone stamp tool. And you can also use the healing brush. We'll look at that next, but we're going to start out with the stamp. Now what you do here is you hold down your Alt key and look for a spot on your image that you'd like to copy, essentially. And while holding down the Alt key, drag your mouse while clicking along that area. Now as you can see, I dragged the line right there, and I'm going to paste that line over top of this seam. So I held Alt, dragged a line, let go of Alt, and then painted with that line, essentially. What this is basically doing is copying a section of your image and then allowing you to use the texture of your image as the paint, like you would with the paintbrush tool. So it's really a matter of capturing little bits of the image and then pasting them over the seams until they get to a way where they look natural. You can see I'm kind of playing with those ones down south there, drawing more pebbles and going over certain places multiple times, because the first time you cross over the seam, it's not always going to look the best. So sometimes you have to play with it. You'll see rocks that are weird looking because they're only half there, or sometimes it'll get a little blurry. So it's really just a matter of going over it as many times as you need to get it to the way you like it. There's a lot of personal preference and a little bit of artistic eye required to it. So I'm just going to keep doing that, finding sections that I think would look good where I need them to be, and just kind of throwing them in there. And let me speed up the process for you a little bit. Done. I'm going to go ahead and save this because I took out all the seams as best as I wanted to, and I think it looks pretty natural. Now I want to show you the other method of doing this, so I'm going to open up my file again here, the old crummy original with all the bad, horrible seams, and redo the offset. So now we are going to take a look at the healing brush. This works very similar to the clone stamp. But it's a little different. You do it the same method by pushing Alt and grabbing a line and covering up your seams with it. Some people prefer this method, other people don't. I use them both depending on the type of image that I'm working with. So I'd recommend giving them both a try and seeing which one feels better for you. I'm going to keep doing this the way I did the last one until I'm happy with it. I'm going to concentrate on these dark areas that we have here, these dark rocks, and try and get rid of them. Okay, that looks good, so we'll save this bad boy a little differently so I know which is which. And now there's a lot of uses for these seamless textures. I don't know what your purpose will be, but one that I've done a lot of is taking these textures into Second Life. And if you've ever used that, you'll know that everything in there is very reliant on these seamless textures. So here's a look at what our original texture looks like whenever you tile it, and here is our new one. Way less seams, right? It looks much better. And here's our one with the art history brush. It's a little different, but still natural looking. This thing is now tiled 4 times in each direction, so there's 16 of our little squares on there, and they're blending together nicely. So now, just for the heck of it, we can take this shape and flip it over and make it flat, like we are ready for using it for something. Throw a little umbrella on there. Throw a little chair down. Yeah, we're cool. Now we're ready for a beach party. Well, thanks for watching, and hopefully you've learned something about making seamless textures and can have fun with it.